Welcome back. So in this video, we'll be looking at the remainder of our top 7 social media platforms. Let's have a look at Pinterest. Pinterest has 100 million users. As for demographics, 16% of all men online and 44% of all women online use Pinterest. About 71% of Pinterest users are women, but men have started using it in growing numbers over the past couple of years. According to Pinterest, the male-female split is even in countries such as India, Korea, and Japan. 37% of people age 18 to 29 use the site, and 36% of people age 30 to 49 use the site. 75% of users access Pinterest on mobile phones, according to the company. What you need to know. Pinterest is primarily a graphics-driven site, where users pin graphics on boards that they've created. For example, someone might create a chicken recipe board and then pin pics of recipes. Users then click on the links to get more info. Pinterest is primarily used by women, so it's a good platform if you have visually based information to share with women. For example, this site is a good platform for wedding planners and associated businesses, anything dealing with home remodeling or design, cosmetics and hair, recipes, pets, and similar categories. One benefit is that Pinterest lets you create group boards, which means you can team up with others in your niche to create boards. For example, if you run a florist business, you might team up with a wedding gown seller to create a wedding-themed board. You can then work together to build each other's traffic, followers, and even brand recognition. Which brings us to branding. This is a good site for branding, as you can brand all your images before pinning them. If you create novel or funny images, or you have good content behind those images, like recipes or good offers, then you'll get people re-pinning them. This helps increase brand awareness all throughout your niche. Traffic. This is a very good source for traffic, as most visitors are used to clicking a link to get the information behind the pin. For example, they'll see an image of a delicious dessert, and then they'll need to follow the link to get the recipe. The point is, it's good for traffic if the image is sufficiently enticing enough to get users to click through for more information. For example, just having a picture of a cute puppy probably won't get clicks, but promising high-demand, high-value dog training information may get the click. Now let's move over to LinkedIn. LinkedIn has 433 million users. About 25% of those log in monthly. Demographics. 128 million users are from the US, 35 million are from India, 25 million are from Brazil, 20 million are from China, 20 million are from the UK, and millions more across Europe, Canada, and elsewhere. 26% of all men who are online and 25% of all women who are online use LinkedIn. 22% of 18 to 29-year-olds use LinkedIn, 30% of those ages 30 to 49 use it, and 26% of people who are 50 to 64 use it. About 40 million college students and recent college grads are on LinkedIn, and this is their fastest growing demographic. What you need to know. LinkedIn is primarily for professionals, entrepreneurs, freelancers, authors, business-to-business professionals, business owners, and similar people who want to network to find better opportunities. If you target any of these groups, for example, if you're a freelancer providing professional services to business owners or you sell B2B products, then this is a great group to use. It's also a very good place to find potential joint venture partners to grow your business. Branding. LinkedIn offers a moderate benefit as far as business branding. What it excels in is helping you develop your authority in a niche. That's because you can answer questions on LinkedIn in the Answers section and share content that positions you as an expert in the Groups section. Quick tip here. If there isn't a group in your niche or industry, you can start one. Just be sure to start the group around your industry or a specific topic, as opposed to starting a group focused on your company. Basically, people are looking to build relationships on LinkedIn. If your business has a strong personality to represent the company, especially if that person is linked to the brand, then LinkedIn is a good choice. Traffic. The actual amount of traffic you can get through LinkedIn is low to moderate depending on your niche, but the quality is high. Here's why. People are clicking through from your content via answers and groups. That means that they're probably already starting to see you as an authority, so they're coming to your site interested in learning more. Furthermore, the people who are clicking may be high-value visitors. For example, if you deal in business-to-business goods, you might have the actual decision-makers coming to your site. If you do a lot of instructional events, such as webinars, then be sure to invite your network to these events. This is the sort of thing that's likely to generate leads for you. Next, Google+. Google Plus has 375 million users, but only 27 million unique monthly visits. Google Plus is growing at a rate of about 33% per year, even though it's not actively promoted. As for demographics, the interesting thing about Google Plus is that Google basically forced people to sign up for it when they signed up for Google services such as YouTube, AdWords, Google Docs, and so on. In other words, a lot of people who signed up for the site weren't intentionally doing so. That's why there's such a gap between the total registered accounts and the unique monthly visits. Here's what we know about Google Plus's users. 26.3% are female, 73.7% are male, 55% of users are from the United States, and 18% of users are from India. Brazil, the UK, and Canada round out the remaining 5% of users with single-digit percentages. Many of the people who use Google Plus tend to have careers in technical fields, such as engineers, who make up 29%, developers at 17%, teachers at 15%, designers, who make up about 14%, software engineers at 12%, and web developers at 5%. What you need to know. The demographics tell you a lot about who should use this site and how you can benefit. Basically, if you have a predominantly male audience, especially those in technical fields such as engineers, then Google Plus is a good choice for your business. Google Plus is also a good choice if you're using other services such as Google Search. That's because Google's search engine algorithms take social media, and especially Google Plus, into consideration as a ranking signal. What's more, Google Local is now basically a part of Google Plus. So if you want your local business to be listed in Google with maps, directions, hours, etc., then you need to get your business on Google Plus. Bottom line, Google Plus is also a great choice for you if you have a brick-and-mortar business serving local customers, or if your business depends on SEO. Now, how about branding? Since Google Plus for businesses works much the same way as Facebook pages, this is a good way to brand your business, especially if your business strategy is based on building authority. What's more, Google Plus integrates with other Google services, which further helps to build brand awareness and recognition. Traffic. Traffic is low to moderate if you're sharing content and trying to generate leads that way. You'll get higher amounts of traffic if you do the following. Include keywords in your content and build authority by sharing good content. However, those with local businesses will improve their foot traffic and calls by setting up a complete profile for their business. So again, if you have a local business, then Google Plus should be on your list of social media sites, even if you don't necessarily cater to men or tech fields. Let's move on to Instagram. Instagram has 400 million users. Now a quick note here, Instagram is based on a mobile app. So virtually all users are mobile users. Some visitors may come through their fixed internet connections, but those posting content will be mobile users. As for demographics, 75% of users are from outside the US, according to Instagram's press page. 24% of all men who are online and 31% of all women who are online use Instagram. 55% of 18 to 29-year-olds use it, as well as 28% of 30 to 49-year-olds. 32% of teens consider it the most important social media network, and 85% of top brands now use Instagram. What you need to know. If you're targeting young mobile users with visually based content, then Instagram is a good choice for you. This site lets you take videos and photos, use filters to alter these images, and then upload them to your account. In turn, users can react to your images and videos, comment on them, and even share them. This site works best for those business owners who can share intriguing images and videos. In other words, this isn't the best place to post articles. Users want and expect visual content. And because of the demographics, it's also a good place for authors, entrepreneurs, activists, artists, and small business owners who want to raise awareness about a social issue. Branding. This site is strong in terms of branding because all of your content serves to build the visual identity of your business. In fact, at one time, Forrester.com's researchers found that posting something on Instagram provides 120 times more engagement per follower than Twitter and 58 times more engagement per follower than Facebook. While these numbers have fallen off somewhat, Instagram engagement is still very high. Here's a quick tip. Be sure your branding strategy is well thought out and in place before you use Instagram, as your Instagram account is going to be beneficial in building your brand. Basically, ask yourself this: how do you want prospects to view you? Then share images and videos that reflect that view. Be sure to choose and use one filter for the majority of your posts, which you think will best reflect your brand. Include hashtags when you post as well. What about traffic? You can drive a low to moderate amount of traffic to your website using Instagram. However, you can also use Instagram to cross-post on sites such as Facebook and Twitter. So if you're focusing on these other sites as well, don't neglect this easy way to increase traffic and engagement across multiple sites. Instagram also offers advertising, which is another way to get traffic to your site. However, you may find that the ad platform, just like the rest of Instagram, serves you better in terms of branding, as opposed to direct traffic. So you've just learned a bit about each of the main 7 social media platforms, so now it's time for you to choose which ones to focus on. Keep these 3 tips in mind to optimize your strategy. Start with 1 or 2 platforms. You don't want to spread yourself too thin, nor do you want to waste time building platforms on sites that really won't produce good results for you. That's why you need to focus on just 1 or 2 sites to start. So pick your top 2 based on your customer profile and your business goals. For example, if you're targeting young people and your main concern is branding, then Instagram is a good place to start. Or if you're targeting professionals for branding and networking purposes, then LinkedIn would be a great platform. Once you've started building your presence on your top 1 or 2 sites, then you need to turn your attention to this next tip. Track your results. Even though a particular social media site may look like a perfect fit for your audience and goals, that doesn't mean you'll necessarily get great results. The only way to tell for sure is to track your results to see if you're hitting your targets. Here's a tip. Some platforms have built-in analytics to help you determine what sort of results you're getting. You'll also want to use outside tools to see how your social media followers translate to traffic, subscribers, and sales on your site. Check the resources section for more information on that. Here are 5 common problems which you can uncover by testing traffic. Number 1, your audience isn't connecting with your posts. You'll need to test different kinds of content in different formats. For example, test funny content, promos, articles, and controversial content. Also, test different formats including infographics, videos, memes, text posts, and so on. Number 2, you're overposting or underposting. Posting too much can turn people off if you're filling their news feeds, especially if your content isn't connecting with them. Posting too little lets people forget you and decreases your brand awareness. Number 3, you're over-promoting or under-promoting. Promote too much and people feel like all you do is advertise. But on the flip side, if you don't offer a special discount or announce new products on social media, some people will wonder why they should even bother following you if there's no incentive. Number 4, you're not using strong calls to action. If you want people to do something specific when they see a post, then explicitly tell them to like it, share it, or comment on it. Number 5, you're posting on the wrong platform. Perhaps your audience isn't engaged on this particular platform and you'll get better results by focusing elsewhere. If you're getting lackluster results, you'll want to experiment on other platforms as well. And finally, make it easy on yourself. When you look at some business accounts on social media, it looks like they put an incredible amount of work into it. It might even look like they've hired a dedicated social media person just to post content to a platform. A big business with deep pockets and an owner who has never read this book might be doing exactly that. Who knows, they may have an entire team of sleep-deprived, caffeine-driven social media interns who post and interact all night and all day on these sites. But the good news is that you can get a lot done without working around the clock. All you have to do is use the automation tools that you'll find later in this course. These tools make creating and posting content a snap. You can even post to multiple platforms with just one click of your mouse, so be sure to check out those tools in the recommended resources section just a bit later on. So at this point, you know what your goals are, you know as much as you can about your audience, and you know which platforms are good fits for your audience and your goals. You should now set up your accounts on 1 or 2 of your top social media sites, being sure to fill out the profiles completely and post some content to kick things off. Then, come on back for the next lesson where you're going to discover how to maximize your social media strategy.